At the beginning of October, a video showed an electric vehicle losing control and crashing on the streets of mainland China. The video showed a black sedan slowly moving along the non-motorized lane on the street. It first crashes into several electric bikes on the left side, then drifts to the right and crashes into a roadside carport. The car doesn't stop until it seems to hit something blocking its path. What's even more terrifying is that the driver's seat is empty. After the car stops, someone approaches and knocks on the window, trying to open the door, but it's unclear if anyone is inside. The person filming exclaims, "It's self-driving!" From the video, it's visible that the car has a green license plate, suspected to be an electric vehicle. The brand hasn't been confirmed. Some viewers say it's a Huawei car, while others disagree.
How did it break like this? I don't even understand.
On October 7th, another video shot by a Huawei car owner went viral. The footage shows the car's right rear wheel appearing severely bent due to a collision. The car owner seems confused, saying, "I was driving normally, not speeding. How did this happen? How did this sudden broken damage happen?" The video quickly sparked debates in the comments. Many netizens were skeptical, with some saying it's understandable if a tire bursts, but a wheel bending like that is unusual. Others bluntly said, it's not surprising that there's a quality issue with the HEMA car. Some even sarcastically commented, ever since domestic electric cars exploded in popularity, news about car issues have become a common sight on the streets. It's either catching fire or losing control. Now we've added broken legs to the list. Before the Golden Week holiday, Xiaomi electric cars were also in the spotlight due to safety concerns. On September 29th, a Xiaomi car owner posted a video online, complaining, "My Xiaomi car started running by itself. Customer service refuses to admit there's a problem." The video shows the incident happening outside a shop. The man gets out of the car and goes inside, leaving his phone nearby. A few minutes later, the blue sedan outside suddenly starts on its own and slowly drives away. The woman inside the store exclaims in surprise, and the man runs out to chase the car. At no point did either of them touch the phone. Afterwards, the owner contacted Xiaomi customer service, and they asked for the app's operation log. However, the investigation concluded that the owner's own actions caused the incident, refusing to acknowledge any system malfunction. Frustrated, the owner posted the video online. On October 3rd, Xiaomi released a statement, claiming that after an investigation, they found the car had received a parking assist command from the phone, which caused the car to start, and emphasized that the car had no quality issues. However, the car owner insists that neither the phone nor the key were operated at the time, and the video can prove this. Industry experts point out that even if it was a misstep, the phenomenon of the vehicle driving autonomously without anyone inside still needs third-party verification. Currently, there is no independent testing report from a third party, so Xiaomi's explanation remains controversial. In fact, before this incident, videos about Xiaomi electric cars losing control and crashing on the road had already been quite common. One netizen posted a dashcam video showing a Xiaomi electric car seemingly veering off the highway, swerving repeatedly, nearly losing control, and colliding with several other vehicles. The video went viral, and many netizens questioned the stability and safety of Xiaomi's electric cars and their autonomous driving systems. One person commented,
This Xiaomi car is really scary.
Additionally, Xiaomi's NOA mode has also been causing major headaches for consumers. NOA is Xiaomi's flagship Advanced Intelligent Driving System. According to Xiaomi's official promotion, the system allows Xiaomi cars to perform automatic lane changes, overtakes, exiting and entering ramps, recognizing traffic lights, and avoiding pedestrians on highways or major urban roads. Xiaomi emphasizes that the core technology is based on high-definition maps and multi-sensor fusion, including LiDAR, cameras, and millimeter-wave radar, combined with path planning algorithms and steer-by-wire systems. This allows the vehicle to accelerate, brake, and steer autonomously. Currently, models like the SU7 have opened up features like Highway NOA, Urban NOA, and Parking Valet through over-the-air updates. However, while the idea is grand, reality often sees the system automatically going off track, with multiple incidents already occurring. Sometimes the car starts on its own, sometimes it shows a system failure, and other times it runs red lights without slowing down. One car owner, after an accident, posted a video saying, I was on an overpass, driving normally. I hadn't been drinking, and my speed was only about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Then, suddenly, the car switched to NOA mode. After it switched, the system unexpectedly accelerated, and the car shot up to about 80 miles per hour. By the time I reacted and tried to hit the brakes, the entire process took only 2 or 3 seconds. The car was already in the left turn lane, running a red light, and collided with the car ahead. The system didn't slow down or try to avoid the situation at all. Afterward, I reported it to the after-sales service and the staff, but they insisted it was the fault of my driving. I'm confused. Clearly, it was the car's malfunction that caused the accident, but why do I have to bear the responsibility? Is that reasonable? I really feel this is so unfair. In addition to the intelligent driving system, some car owners have reported other frequent issues with Xiaomi electric cars.
不是，我是真的好尴尬。
I'm really embarrassed right now. I just took a nap in the car, and when I woke up, I found I couldn't get out. No matter what I did, the phone wouldn't unlock the car, and the door wouldn't open. The system said, no key, but the key is clearly on my phone. I tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. I tried to turn off the power, but it wouldn't turn off. The car kept flashing its lights like it was stuck in the system. I was almost going crazy. It was almost time to go to work, while the car kept self-parking. What's going on? Help! Oh my god, I have had enough of this car! In the comment section, many netizens vented their frustrations, with some stating that the driving experience of the Xiaomi SU7 was extremely disappointing. One netizen, who had driven a Mercedes for 10 years, said, "The first time I drove my friend's SU7, I was completely shocked. How could it be so bumpy? It felt like driving on a road that hasn't been repaired in 10 years. Some even joked, "Now when I'm on the road, if I see a big truck, I'll stay away. But when I see a Xiaomi car, I immediately steer away first." Others mocked, "At this rate, the insurance for Xiaomi cars is going to get more expensive." Many of the complaints from netizens focused on the quality of the Xiaomi car. One user bluntly said, "The chassis is terrible. The car starts to drift as soon as there's a little bump in the road, and the power distribution can't keep up." Another pointed out, "The Xiaomi car tends to swing its back when turning. This is the first time I've seen such an unstable rear suspension." A car owner who had test-driven the vehicle added, "The SU7 is too heavy. It's fine on flat roads, but on mountain roads, especially on windy ones, the car tilts noticeably. It feels super clumsy." Others questioned, "Did this model even go through the Moose test? It seems like it wasn't qualified and was rushed to the market." The Moose test, also known as the Elk test, is a universally accepted vehicle safety assessment designed to evaluate a car's stability during emergency maneuvers. The name comes from real-world situations in Scandinavian countries, where moose often cross roads unexpectedly, and drivers must quickly steer to avoid them. In a Moose test, the car's ability to maintain control and avoid skidding is assessed. The test is usually performed on a track with cones arranged in 3 rows, and the driver must steer sharply to avoid the cones and then return to the center. If the car passes without losing control, it's considered safe. If there's tailgating, tilting, or cone collisions, it indicates problems with handling. Netizens raised concerns about the SU7's performance during sharp turns or emergency maneuvers, suspecting it might not have passed the Moose test before mass production. After all, such issues should have been identified and addressed during testing. Some tech-savvy netizens analyzed, "It might be that the acceleration motor and the drive system aren't well matched, leading to the vehicle's uncontrollable S-shaped movements." One comment was even more critical, saying, "The rear drive design causes the car to experience a death wobble at high speeds during turns, which is a serious structural flaw." Another car owner added, "From the accident videos I've seen, even with ordinary driving actions, the car starts swaying, skidding, and losing control. It feels like the chassis wasn't even properly tuned before being pushed onto the road." In late September this year, Xiaomi announced a large-scale recall of its SU7 Standard Edition electric sedan. The reason for the recall was potential safety risks in its highway assistance driving system. According to the recall notice issued by China State Administration for Market Regulation, the system may fail to recognize, provide adequate warnings, or respond sufficiently in certain extreme or complex road conditions. If the driver does not intervene in time, it could lead to a risk of collision. In other words, when the pilot assist function is activated on highways, if the vehicle encounters sudden obstacles, unclear lane markings, tunnel curves, sudden braking by the vehicle ahead, or construction zones, the system may not correctly assess the change in the environment and may fail to react quickly enough. This recall involves approximately 117,000 SU7 Standard Edition vehicles, with production spanning from February 2024 to August 2025, making this recall unprecedented in scale. Xiaomi claims the recall is a safety precautionary recall, not triggered by serious accidents. The company plans to fix the issues through an over-the-air software update, without the need to replace any hardware. The update will improve the recognition algorithms for complex road conditions, enhance the fusion accuracy of the cameras and radar, refine the emergency avoidance and speed control logic, and add more prominent warning indicators when the system's recognition capabilities drop. However, many car owners and industry insiders pointed out that this isn't the first time Xiaomi has recalled cars due to safety system concerns. This massive recall has, to some extent, validated the doubts about Xiaomi's quality and reliability, deepening public concerns about the safety and stability of domestic electric cars. On March 28, 2024, the controversial Xiaomi SU7 was officially launched, with deliveries of the Founder Edition models starting on April 3rd. Priced between 215,900 yuan and 299,900 yuan, the model positioned itself as high-performance, intelligent, and cost-effective, and was seen as another cross-industry miracle in Xiaomi founder Lei Jun's career. From the moment it was released, the SU7 made waves on the internet. Media outlets, car reviewers, and Xiaomi fans all praised the car's performance and significance. The media was filled with exaggerated praise. Some called it on par with Porsche, challenging Tesla, while others marveled that a smartphone company made a car in just 3 years. Some media even called it the game changer in domestic electric vehicles. Xiaomi's official marketing created a sense of scarcity, with claims of over 90,000 orders in 24 hours and hundreds of thousands of reservations, fueling a buying frenzy and reinforcing the hit product myth. Many early comments hailed the SU7 as the benchmark of smart cars. They repeated slogans like software-defined cars, car-home connectivity, and human-car integration. And some even called Lei Jun leading Xiaomi from smartphones to car as a milestone transformation. However, as September and October came around, the tide shifted dramatically. The miracle car started to fall apart, and public opinion went from overwhelming support to collective doubt. The Xiaomi SU7's reputation plummeted from its peak to its lowest point in just a few months. One netizen commented,
Have you noticed? Xiaomi Car's reputation plummeted. Even Lei Jun himself doesn't dare to open the comment section anymore. Why did this happen? I've been thinking about this. It's probably because their marketing tricks are starting to make people uncomfortable. Over time, trust gets worn down little by little, and eventually it erupts. But today, I saw a short video talking about Steve Jobs' views on product marketing, and it really made me rethink. Jobs said a few key things that I think are very worth noting. The first point he made is, no matter how perfect the marketing atmosphere is, it can't hide the true quality of the product. Consumers always have their own judgment, and they won't believe your product is as great as the ads say. Apple never emphasizes quality in its ads because it knows quality is something users experience themselves, not something that's preached through ads. The second point is even more on point. If you package a product too perfectly, users' expectations rise. And once the actual experience falls short of those expectations, the backlash will be magnified 1,000 times. At that point, you won't hear applause. You'll be hit with a tsunami of negative public opinion.
He concluded,
Jobs' words were like a prophecy for Xiaomi cars. Xiaomi promoted the car almost perfectly. Design, battery life, reputation, quality, everything was there. The PPT looked like a domestic miracle car. But when people actually got their hands on the car, disappointment started immediately. Wrong orders, difficulties in cancellations, waiting for delivery for up to a year. Then the scalper incident broke out. Users were forced to pay the final amount early, and the media storm just kept building. Once the car owners took delivery, they found uneven wheel hubs, large gaps in the back door, rough assembly. These small issues shattered trust. One disappointment can be tolerated, but 2 or 3 times and it all falls apart. When a myth meets reality, the gap is most fatal. Ironically, Xiaomi claims to be competing with Tesla, but their annual production capacity is only 280,000 units. Tesla produces that in just 3 months. You can't sustain long-term trust just with the heat of the launch event.
Chen Jian, the director of the China HCC Horizon Entrepreneurial Innovation and Transformation Research Institute, stated that the reason Xiaomi's recent actions have sparked such a huge public outcry is because even some of Xiaomi's loyal fans have started to turn against the company. Chen concluded,
"The reputation of Xiaomi cars has really changed completely recently. Since deliveries began, various quality issues have been piling up. In fact, negative news has been constant since the car was launched last year, but now it's all coming to the surface. The most obvious change is that Xiaomi's diehard fans have turned against the company. Once the most passionate supporters, they are now the harshest critics. For example, the SU7 fire incident on March 29th this year, where 3 young women lost their lives, and Xiaomi still hasn't provided a clear response. Then came the Green Belt Killer incident, which exposed serious safety and control system issues with the vehicle. On top of that, the extreme performance marketing, such as promoting 1500 horsepower and speed faith, gave the impression that they were trading in extreme performance for hype, while ignoring the most basic safety concerns. Even worse, the so-called carbon fiber perforated covers were exposed as false advertising. Now, hundreds of consumer lawsuits are on the way.
Chen concluded, the explosive orders after the SUV launch actually planted the seeds for a greater crisis of trust. Delivery times were delayed by a year, scalper orders were rampant, and Xiaomi even required customers to pay the full price up front without telling them when the cars would be delivered, which sparked intense dissatisfaction among car owners. Now, the negative sentiment has spread beyond the cars to Xiaomi's entire product ecosystem, including their phones, air conditioners, and more. Additionally, Xiaomi's frequent legal actions against social media, deleting reviews, and blocking accounts have only made the public more resentful. People are starting to question, is this still the Lei Jun who once championed a fan economy and user centricity? The old internet thinking relied on information asymmetry and story packaging. But today's short videos leave no place for the truth to hide. Real competitiveness doesn't lie in how beautifully you speak, but in whether you act with sincerity. If Xiaomi continues to be obsessed with traffic and marketing instead of quality and trust, its entire ecosystem could fall into crisis.